Hey guys, welcome back to BeTerrific. I'm Andrea Fasano, and we are here live from Toy Fair 2016 at the Jacob Javits Center here in New York City. And it has been an awesome day so far here, day one at Toy Fair. Right now with me is Andy from Inroad Toys. Andy, thanks for joining me.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
I'm super excited about your product, PlayTape.
PlayTape.
It's PlayTape.
Yes, it's what I would call the world's simplest toy.
It's the simplest toy, but
Yes.
it has such a cool impact because it can affect so many different toys.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about how you got started and what PlayTape is all about.
Okay, so, I mean, the basic premise is there are billions, literally billions of toy vehicles out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one thing missing, and that is toy roads to drive them on,
Right.
which seems rather obvious, but so we invented this low-tack adhesive tape. You can feel it.
Look at this.
Sticks to any flat surface. It feels kind of like painter's tape,
Yep,
right?
very much
But
so.
it's printed to look like a road, and you can just peel it because it's made out of paper, and just stick it on any flat surface, and now I have a road, right?
Yes.
So really simple.
Super easy.
So it's for push play. So from a play pattern perspective, kids mostly take cars and they push them along.
Yes.
Right? And they're driving, they're thinking about where they're driving, and now we give them the ability to essentially turn their imagination into reality.
That's awesome.
And with that, you can create anything you like.
A real world, a
so
real
an entire
road world.
So I don't know if you can see that, but you know, there's an entire world here of just roads
Yes.
and train track and
Actually,
basically,
we could put it towards.
can you do that?
There we
there
go.
we go.
There we go.
Road, train track, all over the place. So
Yeah.
imagine just being able to create.
You're creating your own
Everything.
roadmap
Yes.
for your cars.
Right. So it's taking your imagination. So leaves no residue behind. So mom's happy, dad's happy, right? And when you're done, it's just paper.
Throw it
You
out.
just throw it away and recycle it, right? I'm done. So you can leave it down for a day or a week, and then when you're done, you say, okay, well, let's peel that up and we'll start up later. So it's a whole construction system,
Yes.
a 2D construction system for playing with toy vehicles. And that's really what it is.
It really is so simple and easy that it's almost laughable. I mean, I'm not laughing at your product,
It's
but
totally
you know what I
true.
mean?
Yes.
That's genius, and it's only 2 years old.
Yes, we've been in the market since 2014, and then actually this year we are a Toy of the Year finalist.
Wow, congratulations.
So, which is great after being in business only 2 years.
Yes.
And we've won 25 industry awards, which we're very proud of.
Wow.
So really quite nicely recognized by people that, yes, it is incredibly simple.
Yes. Now, how did you come up with this?
Good question. So I have 3 boys.
Okay.
They're all now grown and taller than I am at this point. But when my youngest, Brian, who was 4 years old about 13 years ago, he was a toy and car fanatic. And he had tons and tons of toy vehicles. And one year for Christmas, all he wanted was a box of cars, which Santa loved. It was easy for Santa.
I'm sure.
But Dad was like, well, okay, now what do we do? Because when I wanted to go sit down and play with him, the question was, well, where are the
Where
roads?
are you going? Yeah.
Where are you going, right? There's only so many times you can throw cars at a wall
Right.
and be happy with that. So I started putting tape down, masking tape down as roads. And then I thought, well, isn't there a product that has a road printed on it?
And there wasn't?
No.
Because I would think that. I when you came over here, I said, oh, this has been a while, right? And
Yeah.
you're like, oh, no, only 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I would think that I saw something like that, but it's not. It's on mats that are already created that go with toys
That's
or
exactly right.
something like that, right?
Yes.
Or train tracks, like you said, which you do also. PlayTape
Yes.
also has train
We
tracks.
do have train tracks.
So
we
it's
have-
not
yes.
just roads, concrete roads. You have multiple surfaces,
Yes.
which I think is such an innovative idea.
So we have train tracks. So this is our generic train track. We also have a licensed Thomas train track. So this is actually the train track you would see if you were watching a Thomas movie or cartoon.
Yes, Thomas and Friends.
Right, Thomas and Friends. This is what we call our Mud Madness road.
I
So
like
if you want to
that
go
one.
off-roading, right? Kids love that sort of
They
thing.
have some
You wanna
crazy
go
vehicles
drifting.
out there.
And this year, this is our big thing this year. We're
Wow.
launching Hot Wheels PlayTape. So you may kind of recognize that this is very similar to Hot Wheels Track,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we've kind of updated the design, so it's a very contemporary design, but
Yep.
you've got hints of the classic Hot Wheels orange track.
Oh,
and
cool.
now you can go and create something like this where you can put play tape all over the floor
and
and,
it's
the
even
walls.
on the walls.
And what kids do is they go everywhere with this
right,
stuff, right?
right.
And once you give them tape, they just love tape. So anyway, it's great.
I'm dying to do the Back to the Future. We don't need roads, but in this situation, you
That's
do. You do need roads.
Well, you need roads as long as you have cars.
As long as you have cars, yeah. So it's different colors too.
Yes, so we have different colors, and of course, one of the questions that people always ask is, well, how do you make it curve?
Yes.
And the answer is, well, roads go in tape goes in a straight line.
Oop.
Oh, excuse me.
One car down.
But
okay.
we make curves as sticker sheets.
No way.
So now it really is a construction toy. So you can go in a straight line, and then you can make curves to do anything you want. And the curves match the type of road. So we have
multiple types.
Different types of curves. And this, for instance, is a 4-inch road, intentionally designed to scale. I lost my car, but to scale for a Hot Wheels car or Matchbox, which is a 1/64 scale car, so it fits inside a inside a
they
lane.
could race.
Yeah, so
on
you can
that
go
track
race
too.
on that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is so cool, and it's funny
exactly
when
right.
you said the Hot Wheels, because Hot Wheels, they do have their own system and roads, right? But some of them just come individually, and they're just cars, right?
Yeah. So everybody has the car.
Yeah.
Track is one way to play with Hot Wheels.
With the Hot Wheels,
but
right?
it's what we call a downhill play pattern, right? In other words, you let the car go, or you make it go,
yeah.
and it goes down, and goes around, or whatever, and then you're done. This is much more of a when I have a car with me, how do I play with it wherever I am?
Right.
So PlayTape is all about anything you want, anywhere you want, anytime you want. So whether you're in the doctor's office or the restaurant or the airport or the hotel room, it doesn't matter. Just take a roll of PlayTape and your favorite car, which I dropped
Here,
on
kids,
the floor,
go play over
and
there.
go play.
And nobody's going to be offended. Nobody's going to be mad at you for pulling out the tape and having your kids play with it, because it's so easy to remove. It's so easy to clean up, right?
That's exactly right.
I'm in love with this because it is so simple. We've said that. But this is Toy Fair. It's Toy Fair 2016. There's a lot of products out there.
Yes.
And basically, a lot of them are geared towards education. You know, this day and age, everyone wants something to be educational. Get away from the computer screens, get away from the video games. And this really takes the love of cars, because no matter what, whether you like driving and you're a kid, guy, girl, it helps them to construct, it helps them to think of imagination, a whole town, it could be anywhere, like you said, on the walls. You could be driving on the ceilings, and I think that's really, really important.
Yes, it's interesting because the educational component of this goes far beyond anything I ever imagined.
I'm sure.
Because preschools love it because they already have the cars, right? This gives them a way to give kids the ability to create, to imagine, and put their imagination again back into, let's make something.
And I'm sure together too. Someone starts putting roads down, someone else wants to take a house, bring it over here,
Yes.
Integrate playing.
And there's another aspect to it which is interesting. So there's a kind of a gender bias that people think that cars are for boys and girls play with dolls. I've had a lot of people tell me that PlayTape is like the universal glue, pun intended, to tie worlds together. Because we've had, kids playing with cars, but then they'll take their dolls and play on it, or their horses, or their dinosaurs, or they'll put their Lego cities,
Barbie has a car.
Barbie, they all do. Everybody's got a car, right? But it's a whole way to connect your world. So people take, kids don't follow the directions. So they'll take their toy box and dump it on the floor.
That's it.
Right? This is the way to tie it all together.
That's so great. Wow. Well, this is amazing. Where can people find PlayTape?
So PlayTape is sold online and in stores. We're in about 1,500 stores around the world right now. And it'll be probably 10 times that by the end of this year.
And I can't imagine it being very expensive.
No. PlayTape retails for between $5 and $15 per roll. So
that is so awesome. Even if like Dad's painting a room, I'm sure this would be really fun to use as that kind of tape
I have way too much PlayTape at home, so yes, I admit I've used it as a painter's tape.
For everything, right?
Yeah. Well, so an interesting, kind of use case is, mom or dad is going to paint the room. Well, go buy some PlayTape, and now kid can be playing on the floor, and maybe they'll even mask some of the room for you if you're lucky, right?
Put them to work.
Right, put them to work
now.
But if they're not, they can play with it,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you did start this 2 years ago, and now you're here at Toy Fair. You have awards and just great accolades from this PlayTape, something so simple. How are you liking being in the toy industry?
It is a blast.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, there is no other place that I can think of where you can take something as simple as this and get such a marvelous smile reaction out of just about anybody you give it to.
Anyone,
Because
right.
the general reaction is, where was this when I was a kid, if you're talking to an adult.
Right.
And if you give it to a kid, as soon as they figure out what it is, which takes about 3 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
then they're like, oh, give me more tape so I can go continue to create this world that
And
I'm
I want
thinking
this
of.
road and that road and this road. So
Yeah, I've
fun.
heard, kids come up with the greatest things. So they've taken our red road as an example, and I've heard them put it down on the ground and say, okay, this one is for emergency vehicles only.
Oh my God, how cute
I'm
is
like,
that?
how genius is that? How come we don't do that in the real world?
Yeah,
You know?
totally. Kids, they say the darndest things.
Yeah. That's
Andy,
great.
thank you so much for being here
Thank you, Andrea.
with PlayTape and Inroad Toys.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. You guys stay right there. So much more coming to you live from day one of Toy Fair. We are BeTerrific, and we will be right back.